How I plan my 28. Okay, so first off, I want to establish that I am not going to keep the color scheme all throughout the whole video to put emphasis on delivery, and I'm very sorry for clicking, but this will be a top tier video. So first things first, the biggest indication that I was a celebrity was Robin from Teen Titans Go. And what I would do was I would sound like Robin, I would report like Robin after finding a gang. I used to say words like Lamaya, Lily, and everything. That was when it was confirmed. That's when Auntie Lisa was confirmed. And then for Robin, it came Alberto. So Alberto is the ultimate what I did in the hood, and what I did means you did something where I echo and people can tell. Like when the cop came over, literally he could tell that I did everything including Nokia. So what this is the story of if I could play it on foot, and guess what ended up happening? I ended up getting a report on YouTube, but before that, I knew I was a Timothy Delgado because I played off of his formula. There was this girl called Ileana. Ileana was Traffic's, girlfriend all throughout the Valentine's Day songs, and I could tell that he got rejected by her just like I used to get rejected by Abby. And Abby is very, very small where it came to the reality show. Like in the reality show, I'll get her ass beat literally by a taller person, and it was hella funny. And the word is Abby! And then a taller girl started spanking her. But nevertheless, I knew how to structure my YouTube channel based off, Timothy Delgado from Jaylene the Terror, because I could put Jaylene anytime on Showtime, which was my mindset as a celebrity. Now in the hood, of course I fell back on the instrumental part, but what I didn't fall back on was the whole sequence. I'm like, if you're gonna put me in the hood, I'm gonna forget about it altogether. And guess what the YouTube was? The YouTube was your progression, and your progression was what? Literally 6 subscribers out of 300, so you earned 366 subscribers. When Uncle validated the studio the very next year, in 2021, he validated the studio, which was 1 year later, and it's been 4. And plus, I used to listen to Alpha Male Strategies, and he said, as soon as you try to be an entrepreneur, they ask what your credit score is like, and I literally got depth in the fucking mail, literally. So all this shit, literally having a credit subs, literally falling back on, checks like Goth, Purpose, Dynamic are out the door, which is the original mindset. So this video literally tests if I'm saying, because literally Uncle Tommy and Uncle Dave were there back to back, literally when they talked about the meeting with Zane, literally in the 3734 Matisse Common area, and he was all like, Zane, literally with his gray hair back like West Side Story. So Zane was the biggest confirmation, Zane and Christopher Sabat. And you know what Zane, Christopher Sabat, Snoop Dogg, and everybody have in common? They're all Crips, including Eminem. So literally, my knowledge of gangs is what literally led me, with the biggest confirmation. So all those people being Crips, including Auntie fucking Lisa, literally winning Funimation and shit, there was no fucking mistake. That's why cops got mad. So that's why I did literally last year. Last year I'm all like, if you want to play that cringe bullshit, if you want to play the, the extension, now I'm gonna pretend that it doesn't exist. I'm gonna make it completely fucking drowsy just like the old world was. So this is when the video starts, because this is literally, so the whole point and the whole premise of I Am Sasuke was I didn't do it back at FanMade 2018 when I got away with grabbing over 300 vaginas. But I called out the process and I compared it to the battles in the league. So I didn't do I Am Sasuke until I was at Flex. So literally, let me repeat, the biggest, times that I was I Am Sasuke was when Bree was there hand in hand. Remember, Bree was there hand in hand when I was drawing Hibison, when I was talking about Hibison, and when Hibison was obviously, highly anticipated by Auntie Lisa. So when I Am Sasuke was there was when I was being athletic, and Bree was there side by side, and it was I Am Sasuke and I Am Brisuke, and I Am Sasuke didn't come until I was able to do the Lions Barrage. With that being said, when I Am Sasuke was in his prime was when I was 25, 26, and 27, while I was imitating, Orochimaru versus Sasuke in front of my mom and Chris, and my mom was fucking yelling, ha ha! And then you made my mom look like shit in the hood. So 28 is me trying to do I Am Sasuke from scratch. So it was pretty easy because, Deborah and Cindy were there in the beginning, and also Ashley was there, and I received oral from Ashley. And that means that this girl with purple hair visibly gave me a blowjob. So I'm very sorry about, ruining the Justin video, but I did not have physical evidence, nor had the skills to survive my own, literally contrary to the validation that I was getting. Now there was no more blue cream, no more me making fun of Stone, no more anything, literally it's just me on foot. But James was there, and the Temptations were there, literally full visibly in person with the media still playing their games. So this year was really torment for me because I really love working. As much as I love fucking around as a teenager, knowing that I'm on the radio, I know doing something big is better and it's more appropriate. So I start off the year literally making music like Timbaland. I'm like, okay, since you want for the same thing, and since I did have, visible validation over and over again, Uncle Tommy imitating the characters and shit, literally saying Kafani and Zap on his phone, do I really need to see the numbers at this point? Having Marcel validate me in person, so what ended up happening was I called my anime as a has-been. It's not even that, literally, in the chat, people called me the real Tanjiro. They validated absolutely everything, but I had absolutely no jurisdiction of my sub. So this is the kicker right here. Okay, so first off, it starts off literally with my girl Daniela, also known as Dan Vanilla, who I fuck with literally that I state is the original formula of Zofio. And I stated in the beginning of the year, I want this theme to be hella weak. And hella weak is when you get rejected. And the thing I learned, as a technique of Sasuke, is that that's the proper way to actually get the point. And I learned all the other years that I imitated the formula of 8th grade. I was able to match, the momentum due to picking colors like, orange, things that reciprocate, but I wasn't able to match the point exactly. And literally, hella weak with Jasmine on TV, literally, is the only true way to get the point. So let's start off, literally, how we knew that we were big celebrities. Was I backtracked a little bit, and what I did was I put emphasis on, the days that I was with Courtney, and James, versus me actually being dominant, but me still being dominant in figures. So what I did was I made a whole year that was dedicated to me being the master, but me not having master privileges. So 28 starts off with me putting Jasmine on TV, and her being a new fad and phenomenon with concepts literally with Mexican girls listening and watching on my channel. I got everything. So what I did was I based the year based off Hella Week and then Titanic, and it turned out fucking perfectly. Because with Hella Week you could manipulate the situation. So we end up, clearing the board in the beginning of the year, and then we end up, going into a big problem where I'm recognizing while I'm dancing with girls every day, literally, they're validating me on TV. I'm wearing an orange, jumpsuit. I still have, a nose ring. I'm stating on TV the reason why I'm not, doing anything Sonic is because there's no Nokia. You didn't validate me professionally. So everything was fucking true. Literally, the Carmia, the Deeper, literally, that's what the girls was true. But what ends up happening is I have to break down adjacency. Because 4 is how we naturally absorb. So when I referenced freshman year, I did something in 4. And then I state, literally, I could live through this forever. You're making me regret not going to college. And this year gets really intense because literally it gets down to months and months on end when I'm making no money, but when I see progressing in my skills. So I'm battling the cause and effect. Literally with feelings, the doubling, applying, literally, look how much you beat Henry on the outside. You didn't need to literally do that spec and baller sprite tutorial. You didn't need it, you had it the whole time. Like, are you manipulating me when I have a whole family? You're fucking laughing. So what stops, big for getting in the way is the fact that I did have, haymakers like Max and Chance. And TV is so fucked up, literally, I'm all like, oh, literally, fucking Eric used to be a star. Literally, now Max, literally, is the new star. Literally, I'm like, you didn't give us that proper opportunity as a whole. So what ends up happening was I end up doing tricks to turn the tide. Like going to Scandia, and as soon as me and my crew got in, what we did was we shared, space. I'm not willing, to tell anybody, the full truth of, how I was able to fit everybody in the house until I get more confirmation. Just know on the outside and inside, I was dancing with them every single day. And this is a phenomenal video because what happened when I was 28? Guess what happened when I was 28? Literally, my birthday is on April 24th, so it's just 4 days. The creator of Dragon Ball Z, Akira Toriyama, died. All while I'm using his system, all while I'm using the Swag Kage videos, when I'm using the elaborate anime community videos literally to entertain, letting you know that talking, is a very important part of listening. And that we need longer, elaborate videos to survive, but I'm still displaying them in a DBZ fashion. So, right after Jasmine comes an arc with Jennifer Lopez from my freshman year in high school, the Prince thing that I can always fall back on. Ends up me, Zach, and Jennifer being an arc. Now the whole time I'm doing this thing on TV with Jasmine, I cannot absorb. And this is a cringe, challenge. So what ends up happening is the beginning, right in the beginning of 28, I'm sorry if I'm going all over the place in this video, but in the beginning of 28, I cheated with the M&M's from Costco. and that prevented me from doing anything, colorful throughout the whole year. But as soon as me and my gang, me, Baxter, Chance, Daniela, whatever, literally, Davina was there. Davina was a hard hitter. Everybody, including Courtney, as soon as we got back in, doing our daily routine, we got home to watch South. So every single day we have color, but there's added a situation. And another, cringe thing is that I can't absorb, I can't get a job because there's still more government regulation, but you're validating that I'm on the radio 24/7. So with all that from watching South Park every day, literally, I eventually came out with Kamikaze, Celine Dion, and everything kept going on. So I keep on stating, when you just gotta flat out pay me instead of me knowing how the game works. Because a rapper on the radio can still be homeless. I mean, look at Will Smith, he had to pay the IRS. So this is scary. This is a very, scary, video. Because I am Cheap Chee's son. I am, the Net's son. I am, the guy who had all the girls like Frieza in the company, who my mom is yelling, ha ha! How am I gonna start off the year colorful? How am I going to literally embrace, the All Grown Up, the Mama Cheeksy song, how am I gonna embrace everything from the frontal lobe when you're a baby if you keep on doubling pine like an adult? Literally. And so what I ended up doing when I got to the second thing, where I got to do all my things with Davina, is that they called it a little kid, but because I did things that held weight, literally, it went back into my favor. Now the creator DBZ didn't die just yet. It's a very important video because I was using his angle entertain. So if you're giving me professional, validation like that, literally, and then the main reason why I'm fighting for dies, that means you didn't actually do a good job of informing like you think you did. And every single time I do a speech about doing something within 10 hours to show that you care, literally, look what happened in the whole fucking year. And I'm here to say, literally, that's because I kept on moving on. Oh, maybe if I didn't say anything, the creator DBZ wouldn't have died. But I kept on copying Omar's formula because if you wouldn't leave me alone, you thought that I was gonna fall for this versus Cold Hard Cash. So it's very important. It's dangerously important because this is a part of evolution. And here comes the Adrian and Abdul. Somebody literally with major autism, literally going up against somebody who is super advanced in socializing. And they have me compare somebody to full autism when I only have Asperger's to manipulate me to say that the same thing can happen so I can submit to somebody wrong. And then I even did one thing where Alex, literally, a guy with blue eyes, looks like the guy from Treasure Planet, literally came out his uncle, and his uncle was as pretty as a girl. And then I took Uncle Larry's literally pink collar and made cars. This is my journal, and this is what you're giving me. And then they called out the beginning, which was even worse. Hell yeah, I fucking did watch a fucking Indian person who was horrible at dancing versus an Indian person who was good at dancing while I was waiting for my fucking check. Every day while I come back from the store. You knew your mama was Chi-Chi literally before you got to the hood. So that's, your premise of what happened before I got home. Now when I got home, shit flipped. Thought that I was gonna align with all that organic energy. Oh, we're gonna bring the roots of the game back. We're gonna do this and that when I'm closer to 30. No, I stopped dwelling in the past. Literally, I started listening to a whole bunch of, rap music that you think is whack, but goes hand in hand with my research. And what was even worse was I took a tutorial of how to be a gang member, where I learned how to be both Tyrone and Reese in the same year, and they still called out the beginning. I could have absorbed with Jennifer, I could have absorbed with Jasmine, and I could have absorbed the M&Ms all throughout the whole year. So you made it occur, cringe understanding. And then I submitted as soon as I got home. Now when I got home, shit hit the fan. The whole reason why I did that thing with Amy was because he was already there. So he was already in bed with me the beginning of our 28. Literally, we watched Gotenks and shit. We watched literally Tekaichi with fucking Gotenks was moving his feet. 28 was hard because I was matching, Sonny in his politics. Then also a part of 28 was when I started watching the news, literally when I was involved in the news. So I had, give Amy the boost because I no longer had, his external validation from Jordan. And the whole year before, literally, I put on for the older brother community. I put on for Abdul, literally Adrian's older brother. And at first, literally, I put on for Khan vs. Khan, literally. Oh, he beat you with your Frieza. Oh, he called out Cooler in your blue Jordans. Until I actually heard what they said to their younger brother. And made me recognize that they were handsome too. And also, literally, Anthony, another, victim of domestic violence who was compared to me. Literally, Anthony and Adrian were both Bloods. And literally, I used to be Crip through and through, but I stopped because of my family. So this is me making the Valentine's Day special on foot. And obviously 28 ended literally where it came to peaches and cream. So you do something literally that's strong, that reciprocates, like Hello Week, which is intense, which is calling out the ball for strategy. You're not doing something intense, but it's on top of me having the finest girl. I have the finest girl, literally. named Daniela, so I have the right to use hella weak. After I'm killing people on the street, all those things happening literally. You up and down your Jennifer game, Zach looking like the Kardashians, seeing three friendly families on top of watching the ordinary community. Man, it was Mystic in and out. And as soon as I got home, I did the video with Amy. I started playing basketball due to expansion from Cosmic Effect. And then the creator of DBZ just died. So that's how I planned my 28. Now I'm doing all three that I shall not speak of. But anyway, literally, this drove me so crazy to the point when I was making all those AMPs to go back to Rizana Key. But anyway, this is NT, and this is how I planned my 28.